Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. It's become a bit of a tradition now that when there is a new Drag Race UK season, I do a video explaining some of the Snatch Game characters, as many of my subscribers say that they don't always understand the references. So, here is a video explaining some of the characters and references from Drag Race UK Season 5 Snatch Game. And with that, let's get started. Ginger Johnson as Dame Barbara Cartland. Dame Barbara Cartland was a British writer who was born in 1901 and died at the age of 98 in 2000. Barbara was known as the Queen of Romance, and she was a prolific writer of romance novels and was one of the best-selling authors worldwide in the 20th century. Barbara was known for being very eccentric, and her signature outfit was pink with a pearl necklace and a large hat.
But the dog is taken out at 8, and then the other one's taken out at 8:15, so you can imagine I'm awake, you know what I mean, because they sleep with me.
They do?
Yes.
On your bed? On this
one sleeps on the bed when he doesn't sleep in the fireplace. He prefers the fireplace, it's cooler. This one has baskets, you see.
One of the things that Barbara is well known for, and it was mentioned several times during the Snatch Game, was an interview that she did on the Terry Wogan talk show in 1987, where she clashed with fellow author Jackie Collins.
We've got to get away from all this awful, terrible, it's evil, really. We've picked the books that you write, quite frankly.
Jackie Collins was also a British writer, and she was also the sister of actress Joan Collins. Jackie Collins was also a romance writer, however, Jackie's novels often included a lot more sexual content. And Barbara Cartland clearly disapproved of this, and the two of them clashed slightly during this interview.
But there's room for both of us. There's room for your books, which I'm sure are terrific, and you have huge fans everywhere, and there's room for mine, which are a little more racy, and people enjoy reading.
Yes, but I quite agree they may enjoy it, but don't you think it has helped the perverts? It has helped.
And this is why RuPaul asked whether she liked Jackie Collins, and this was mentioned several times.
Have you ever read a Jackie Collins book?
Jackie Collins is not my favorite person, Ru. She is, in fact, the downfall of society, and I shall hear no more words about her.
I think that sounds like a Jackie Collins answer to me.
How dare you? Jackie and I aren't even on the same planet, Ru. No.
Although Barbara's novels were about romance and they often alluded to sex, there was not any explicit mention of sex in her books. But it looks like Ginger decided to make lots of innuendos in her performance as Barbara to seemingly mock the fact that Barbara didn't approve of sex being mentioned in other people's books.
So she was caught screwing the mannequins. Yes, they were a little loose, so she twiddled their knobs until they stood to attention.
I see.
Yeah. Well, Dora is, of course, married and will do anything to please her husband. So when her head hurts, she takes off her dentures and heads back down for another girl.
And overall, I think Ginger did a great job in her portrayal as Dame Barbara Cartland, and she really captured the essence of who Barbara was. And although Barbara never really used any dirty innuendos, I think Ginger made the character her own by using these innuendos to make the character funny. Kate Butch as Kate Bush. Kate Bush is a British singer born in 1958, and some of her best-known songs are Wuthering Heights and Running Up That Hill. Kate has been extremely successful throughout her career, especially during the 70s and 80s, and she was actually the first female artist to achieve a #1 hit in the UK with a self-written song. Although Kate is very well known, she is very private and kind of mysterious because she rarely gives interviews and people don't actually know that much about her. One of Kate's most famous songs is Wuthering Heights, released in 1978, which was inspired by the Emily Bronte novel from 1847, which was also called Wuthering Heights. In the music video for the song, Kate wore a red dress and was dancing around in the woods, and this has become an iconic look for Kate Bush, which is why Kate Butch dressed in red and had twigs in her hair.
Up next, The 80s are back, and so is our next guest. Welcome, Kate Butch.
As Kate Butch said during the walkthrough in the episode, we don't actually know that much about the real Kate Butch. However, in a few interviews that Kate has done, you can hear that she does have a slight London accent, which is sometimes called Cockney. However, Kate Butch really exaggerated this accent during the Snatch Game and also deepened Kate's voice too, clearly for comedic effect.
When I was at school, I wanted to be a vet and a psychiatrist, but I didn't really want to be. That was just, I suppose, to keep people happy, to think that if I did get a career, it would be a straight one.
Now,
you're right, Rue. How you doing, babe?
Terrific. Now, Kate Butch, you are famous for running up that hill. How'd you get back down the hill?
I don't remember getting down, babe.
They also made several references to Kate's famous song Running Up That Hill throughout the Snatch Game.
Down to Kate Butch. What say you? We're looking for 2 tea bags.
Running down my chin.
Many of the references that Kate made during the Snatch Game were actually directed more towards the guest judges rather than Kate Butch herself. For example, at one point, Kate made a joke about Carol Vorderman and called her Vorders.
Oh, Vorders, you were there too, weren't you?
Carol Vorderman is a Welsh TV personality, and she is best known for appearing on the game show Countdown. One of the things that Carol used to do on Countdown was put up numbers on a board, and the contestants on the show would then need to use these numbers to try and solve the equation and find the right answer. And the contestants would often say how many numbers they wanted from the top, middle or bottom row.
Could I have 4 from the top, please, Carol, and 2 from the 3rd row?
He keeps doing this to me. From the 3rd row down?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And Kate made a joke about Carol saying 3 from the top and 2 big ones.
Oh, Vorders, you were there too, weren't you? 3 from the top and 2 big ones.
And the part about the 2 big ones is an innuendo about Carol's breasts. It should also be noted that Carol is actually a mathematical genius and has an IQ of 154, which is why she was on Countdown, because she was able to solve the equations in her head before anyone else. Kate also made a joke about Carol selling life insurance. This is a reference to Carol's partnership with the company Sun Life, which is an insurance provider in the UK.
I think I went home that night.
Yeah, that was you went home early that
you
night.
know, Vorders, she sells life insurance now, but if you think about the lives she's taken, they take away her Rear of the Year award.
And Kate also made a joke about Carol's Rear of the Year award. This is an award in the UK where they give the award to a celebrity with the most attractive buttocks. And Carol won this award in 2014, and Kate was just making a joke about it. The other joke that Kate made was about cloud busting, which is a reference to Kate Bush's song called Cloud Busting in 1985. However, the joke wasn't really about Kate Bush, it was actually about the other guest judge, Alexandra Burke. Alexandra Burke is a British singer-songwriter who won the 5th season of the UK singing competition The X Factor in 2008. Alexandra once had an embarrassing moment during an interview in 2012 where Alexandra said that she was in America and someone used the expression the elephant in the room. And Alexandra said that this metaphor was not used in the UK and she had never heard of it, and that's why she used the metaphor in one of her songs. And Alexandra claimed that she therefore introduced this metaphor to the UK.
It's really a metaphor. I was actually going through a situation last year where I was dating someone and it just wasn't going according to plan. So clearly nobody wanted to talk about it. So there was an elephant in the room. And I had never heard of the saying before until I'd done my writing camp for the album. And it's a very American saying. So I thought, well, why not be the first person to kind of bring it over here and make it into a song?
However, this was completely untrue, and this metaphor is very widely known in the UK. And after this interview came out, everyone teased Alexandra online, and it's since become a well-known joke about Alexandra. And this is why Kate Butch mentioned metaphors during the Snatch Game, and Alexandra laughed.
It's a gorgeous metaphor. I was in America on a writing retreat, and I heard this gorgeous metaphor, and I thought, no one in England knows this metaphor. So I'm going to be the first one to bring it over here and introduce it to the UK.
Yes.
Kate also made a reference to one of Alexandra's most famous songs, which was called Broken Heels.
Now, me and Alexandra, we're cut from the same cloth.
Are you?
And we can do it even better in broken red shoes!
Yes,
And Kate instead said broken red shoes, which is a reference to Kate Bush wearing red shoes during the Wuthering Heights music video. So it was a mix of references between Kate Bush and also Alexandra Burke. And so overall, I think Kate Butch did a really good job as Kate Bush in the Snatch Game. I thought she incorporated lots of references about Kate Bush and also exaggerated Kate's personality to make it funny. And Kate also made a lot of jokes about the guest judges. However, I think because these references are quite niche, people may not have understood them. But if you do know the references, it was really funny. Michael Marouli as Catherine Tate. Catherine Tate is a British comedian and actress who was born in 1969. Catherine has been in several TV shows and movies, such as Doctor Who. However, she is probably best known for her comedy sketch show called The Catherine Tate Show, which ran from 2004 until 2007. On the show, Catherine played a variety of funny characters, one of which was a grandmother called Nan, who the Vivian actually played during the Snatch Game on All Stars 7.
That Hemsworth one, she's a big bastard, nice to look at.
Yes, he
and I've
is
seen
really
her in
gorgeous.
that film. He's throwing around that big habit. He could throw it at me if he likes.
Oh, no.
Come on, a cup of tea.
Well, I can't be messing about with cups of tea, love. It ain't an hotel.
One of the other characters Catherine played on the show was Bernie, who is a vulgar Irish nurse who works in a hospital. And she always speaks her mind and is always flirting with the men in the hospital, and she also snorts when she laughs.
You can call me whatever you like, you three smooth-talking bastard. You're a big lump of a man.
Oh!
You've got big hands, you know what I mean?
They don't allow pets in here, but I've had a cockatoo, you know what I'm saying?
And then partway through the Snatch Game, Michael actually switched characters and did another character from the Catherine Tate show called Derek.
Let's move on to, oh, my goodness, Catherine Tate has changed character.
Who dear, me dear, changed dear, yes.
Oh.
I just always assumed you were gay.
Gay dear, who dear, me dear, no dear.
Derek is a middle-aged man, and the joke is that he is very flamboyant and is likely gay. However, whenever someone asks him if he's gay, he gets very offended and says, "How very dare you?" and then usually says something else that insinuates that he is actually gay.
What on earth are you insinuating, dear? That I watch gay TV? Just because a man wears a little bit of foundation, takes care of his appearance, you accuse him of being a backdoor Deirdre.
Oh.
I've never been so insulted.
And I've never been so insulted.
Derek, I'm sorry. I've just always assumed.
Just because a man wears a little bit of foundation and takes care of his appearance, you automatically accuse him of hiding the sausage.
And they only showed a few responses from Michael during Snatch Game, which is a shame because I think Michael really nailed both of the characters and their mannerisms, and the guest judges did laugh a lot at what Michael was saying, probably because they understood the references. However, I suspect that RuPaul probably didn't really understand a lot of the references, which is why he looked a bit confused and didn't really laugh. And this might be why they only showed a few responses from Michael during the Snatch Game. DeDeLicious as Lady Colin Campbell. Lady Colin Campbell, who is also known as Lady C for short, is a British-Jamaican author, socialite and TV personality who was born in British Jamaica in 1949. When she was born, Lady C had a genital malformation and the doctors advised her parents to raise her as a boy even though she was female.
Assumed you were a boy?
No. When I was born in 1949, all girls born with a deformity were given the superior sex, which was the male sex.
Okay.
When she was 21, she had corrective surgery and legally changed her name and gender to be female. In 1974, she married a man named Lord Colin Campbell, although they later divorced, and this is presumably why she has the title Lady, because she was previously married to a lord. Lady C is best known for the various books that she's written about members of the British royal family, because Lady C apparently knew some of the British royal family and also knows a lot of people who worked for the royal family, and so she apparently knows a lot of behind-the-scenes information. And in particular, Lady C released a book about Princess Diana in 1992, where she revealed lots of information about Diana's marital issues, her struggle with an eating disorder, as well as her affair with her horse riding instructor, James Hewitt. Lady C has since become known for spilling a lot of secrets and gossip about the royal family as well as other celebrities. One of the things Lady C is most known for is when she appeared on the TV show I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here in 2015. This is a reality show where celebrities are put in the jungle in Australia and they have to do lots of tasks such as eating insects or having insects crawling on them.
I said that he shows his collection of bugs to his guests. They're gorgeous creatures. The deadly scorpion. I like to give this to the bitches who tried me in the jungle.
Two testicles, please. Oh, see, you're cutting them up. You're not just popping it straight in there.
Delicious, actually.
Genuinely?
Yes. Shipped some of those over for me as well.
And on the show, Lady C had many arguments with her fellow co-stars, and she ended up leaving the show partway through filming.
Shut up! You shut up!
I will talk if I
No,
won't.
be quiet. You are a rude, horrible woman at the moment, and you've got a very, very nasty...
This is why Dee kept talking about bugs, as well as being in the jungle, and having arguments with other people.
I'm so happy I'm out of the treacherous jungle of I'm a Celebrity.
That's right. Would you ever do that again?
No fucking way. They were a bunch of zilches and bitches.
He's bitchy. Don't think we didn't spot what he was up to yesterday.
This is bitchy.
I'm bitchy when I'm speaking the truth about a bitch.
Lady C also has quite an unusual accent and way of speaking, which was reflected in Dee's performance as Lady C.
Now, my dear, I'm not a vulgar woman. I don't indulge in such activities. You can't be mixing with any weirdo.
Who have ganged up against me, been abusive to me. Apples will grow on a lilac tree before that happens. Because they're a bunch of deadbeats and bores. Or pretentious pifflers.
Overall, I think Dee actually did a pretty decent impersonation of Lady C and did her accent and mannerisms quite well. However, I think Dee focused too much on Lady C being in the jungle, and this limited the jokes that she could make. But overall, it wasn't too bad, and some of the jokes that she made were actually quite funny. So there you go, there was a video explaining some of the references from Drag Race UK Season 5 Snatch Game. Let me know in the comments which of these references you enjoyed the most, and whether your opinion has changed about the Snatch Game now that you understand the references. I'd also like to say a massive thank you to all of my amazing Patreon members. In the You're a Winner Baby tier, we have Emerald1508 and PC Smush. And then in the Shantae You Stay tier, we have Becky, Charlie, David, Emma, Kylie, Max, Tebby and Craig. Thank you all so much for your incredible ongoing support. It really does make such a massive difference to my channel, and it allows me to keep making videos for you all, so thank you all so much. If you'd like to join my Patreon and get exclusive benefits, such as early access to my videos, shoutouts in my videos, as well as priority access when submitting interview questions, among other benefits, you can join my Patreon for just a few dollars a month to unlock these amazing benefits, and I'll put a link in the description. Please make sure you like, comment and share this video, as it really helps support my channel. And of course, please make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again in future videos. Thank you, bye!